fair weatherer on the sidelines of my herring. This view is curious. Fair weatherer, don't stray. Too much for casual conversation. Tread the road unsoundly. You've every opportunity to leave me where you never found me. Leave me where you never found me. Leave me where you never found me.
Hey, that was Nonagon. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's John Houlihan here with Dave Harrison and the elusive hairdo. And
I don't get to be elusive.
well, because it's hard to find hairdo. He's elusive.
Challenging.
And that was Nonagon, band out of Chicago, and you can find them at the band camp there. Just fucking Google it, because I don't have time to write down a million things about every band. You know, they're probably my favorite band right now. Anyway, before that was the Gary with a song called Fair Weather, which is yet unreleased and unmastered. So thanks for bearing with that. And I don't know. We're going to talk about a lot of things, none of which I have written down. I have a piece of paper that says, like I was just telling Dave, Wicked Tuna, and in capital letters, make fun of Lou Reed.
Those are somehow connected, too.
Yeah. Can you hear yourself, Dave? We're going to go through some technical struggles probably in the beginning, and we're going to try to work some things out.
I'm doing all right.
How's your level? We're going to drink some beers and have fun.
The good times.
And we're going to watch the Yankees, who are losing to the Detroit Tigers right now, which is great news. I'm just going to watch them for a minute. You guys hold on. It's awesome.
We'll do the play-by-play now.
Yeah, here's Verlander with the pitch to the captain, Derek Jeter, who's swinging a miss. All right. So anyway, like I said, I'm here with Dave, and I've recruited Dave out of the radio league. So I'm here with two radio pros, hairdo, an old hat at the internet radio game, and Dave, who used to DJ at SOU, or so he claims. I don't really know Dave at all.
Back in the 90s.
I just kind of asked him to be on the radio with me, and he said yes. So I got lucky.
It was awesome. He bought me a drink. It was good times.
We exchanged numbers
it was
like two
buy.
chicks.
It was like online dating. Let me tell you, we met pretty much for the first time, Monday, and talked about what we were going to do for the radio show. And it was, I had to remember what he looked like. I'd seen his band play a few times. We played with his band.
How could you forget this face?
And it's one of those things where I was like, I think I know what he looks like. And I'm hovering outside the bar, finishing up a cigarette. And I walk in, I see him look at me, and it just brought back these memories I don't have of bad online dating. And I really feel like I can appreciate all of you out there on JDate or OkCupid or what else is that? eHarmony. So
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I mean, it's my generation. I think, there's that whole generational gap between the people that feel like online dating is completely acceptable and the people that are, embarrassed by it, and they'll make up that, how we met story that doesn't involve, I typed in my profile and put up a picture of me from the most flattering angle and fooled this person into dating me.
We actually did meet before, and the last time we were at a show at a story, Hellgate, and we made fun of the band prior to my band, Relentlessly.
Oh, yeah, that's right, and then I didn't stay for your band.
Oh, yeah, thanks, man. Join the club.
It's Hellgate.
Sorry, I couldn't stick around,
It was a weeknight. It was that Halloween?
Yeah, that place, it doesn't really sound too good, but, I like playing there. It's always like a party.
That's what people say when they play places that are horrible. And
Yeah.
and it just,
Yeah, I like playing there.
Like
it sounds like shit.
So, word to the wise, if any of you are actually dragged to go see one of your friends' bands and they're like, oh, no, it's like a real party atmosphere, that's your cue to run screaming, because it is not going to sound good. You're probably not going to like the music anyway. And, it's just going to be a disaster. If you're lucky, you're going to get drunk and bring someone home if you're single. If not, you're going to go home and get yelled at.
Yeah, which is what I do after shows. And sometimes on the way home, I get yelled at a lot. I get yelled at, it's time to go, things of this nature. Get in the car. You don't have to say goodbye to everyone. Mm-hmm. Because at this point, I'm pretty much in the bag. And it's like, hats off to Larry, Friendly, John Houlihan. Everyone's my best friend. It's really sad.
Well, it kind of, it makes you think, why you got into music in the first place. Because, if you know anyone that is in a committed relationship or married and still has a band, it's really because they love the music. That's the litmus test there. Because if you're single and you're in a band, a lot of it's just, I want to see who I can take home. But when it comes to people that are in committed relationships, you're really in there for the music, because you're just going to get a whole bunch of guff when you get home. On the way home, apparently, as well.
Absolutely. I'm going to we have a phone call.
already.
Let's see if this works, because I've had some problems with the phones, and basically I'm just using my phone, and I'm going to plug it in, and I'm going to put this particular caller, if I can, on speakerphone, and see if he can hear us.
We're going to play Scramble with
Let's
Friends.
see if this works. Hey, Brad, are you there?
Get Brett where I said.
Oh, good. Oh, we never heard that before.
I don't... Listen, Jerky, I don't need to talk to you.
I can't tell if that's feedback or if someone's peeing.
I think he's drowning himself. That's amazing. Our first call. And he's from a guy I really like and respect. He's a super intelligent guy, and all I hear is toilet bowl flushing or something. All right, I got to
Off
hang up
to a
on
good
this.
start.
Come on, Brad. Call back.
Goodbye.
Figure it out. I'm going to play some of your band later. Brad's in a band called 22. Like the caliber of gun.
So there is a period before
Yes,
the 22.
there's a
okay.
period before the 22.
That's
which probably,
the weakest caliber, though, isn't it? I mean, that's a weird
well,
choice for a
it's
band name.
it depends. You know, if 22 bullets going to enter you and rattle around, or so I've heard. So it can cause a lot of damage.
That was the choice for Mafia Hitman, I believe.
It's for
Yeah.
versatile caliber.
Back of the head, bounces around, really does the most damage. I think I would go for more of a substantial caliber if I was actually looking to...
I shot a lot of 22s in the Boy Scouts. And
What year was that? I thought they just gave, like, badges now for, like, woodworking or Etsy.
I don't know.
Who has the best Etsy store?
I got molested and left. That's not funny.
I'm laughing. I think that's okay.
I am like that. I am. This is what the radio show is about. It's like, you know, I've become old and I've accomplished nothing, and so now I'm like these girls who start making jewelry and selling it on Etsy.
So this is our Etsy, apparently.
This is our Etsy.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean,
If you do want to call in and you have words to say in English, the phone number is 718-577-2716.
I just peaked and we gained followers.
No,
And
look, hey,
let's see, what else do I give out there? There's a website, www.livefromthebarrage.com, which is not set up completely.
it's not set up
know,
at all.
It is set up. Well, not by me, but
It
the
exists.
guy, this guy Jim Birch in Chicago, great guy, works for. Well, he doesn't work for, but he runs a place called Caffeinated Recordings, where they just record bands, I think, for free all day, and he's amazing. So thank you, Jim.
Thank
if
you,
you're
Jim.
listening.
That's awesome. So maybe we should spell Barrage for people as well. I don't.
Yeah,
know if
well,
that's
the garage spelling would indicate there'd be one R, but
we like to
the
throw you a
actual-
curveball there.
the actual spelling of the word barrage has two R's, so we're going with that. Double R, DJ double R.
It's stronger. I think that's a good masculine representation of what we're doing here.
Yeah, and
It shows balls.
It used to be called, in its inception was the John Houlihan is awesome radiohour.com, but I've changed that now to Live from the Barrage to reflect the diversity.
We're like a Benetton ad here.
Thanks.
Dave, you playing a band called The Mess Around? You want to plug anything? You playing May 16th or something like that?
We're playing May 16th at Dom Pedro with Sonny Vincent, who is a old punk rock legend. Was in a band called The Testers, who is absolutely awesome. And we're playing the 11th as well, May 11th, at Parkside Lounge with a bunch of great bands. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's become one of those things where I'm, to our previous conversation, that's, it's a big hobby, but it's still, I'm not looking to make $1 million off of it. And I know you have two bands as well. What do you have?
I've made $1 million already.
Really?
Yeah, playing in bands, rock bands around town, selling T-shirts.
That was at what club did you make $1 million at? Was that
$1 million rock club.
The Bond
Yeah.
Street
It's
Cafe.
in Williamsburg.
That's actually a place that you guys should all check out. It's $1 Million Rock Club. It's on Bedford between.
It's-
It's right by the subway station.
It's hard to book.
It's really exclusive, so it's one of those things where actually it costs $1 million to get into. So if one person comes to see you, you make $1 million. It's actually kind of awesome.
Yeah. Are you guys hearing that new buzzing? You are, right? Damn it. Hold on a second. Let me test something. I think it's your mic, Mike, because you were busy messing around. Anyway, I'm going to turn Mike's mic down for now, and we'll fix that in a minute. That's not so bad, right?
I'm okay with it.
Fuck it. Fuck everybody.
So we can curse, huh?
Oh, yeah, you can curse. You can do whatever you want. You could, take your pants off.
So talk about your album, your 45 that's coming out.
Oh, no, I don't want to talk about that. Oh, May 5th, we have a record release. That's a Don Pedro. That's all I'll say about that. I don't want to sit here and plug things. I'd rather talk about bad television like Wicked Tuna and things like that. As I told you, I just have Make Fun of Lou Reed and Wicked Tuna here on the piece of paper.
So as far as
and baseball,
as far as Wicked Tuna goes,
I have a picture of a baseball and a drawing of a tuna fish. Those are my notes for the
It's actually a tattoo that we've.
I'm not
If
stoned.
3 people call in, John Houlihan will get that tattooed right above his ass.
I will. Me and Tommy Rockstar, we're gonna go follow Guns N' Roses. I'm trying to catch a fly right now.
Well, actually, if anyone comes into the actual
I saw him last
studio,
night.
Oh, you really?
I went to go see Archers of Loaf last night at Bowery Ballroom.
Did he get their signatures too?
I think he did. Yeah, he was looking pretty good though. He looks kind of sexy. Lost a little weight.
Just being near members of Guns N' Roses apparently does that too.
Yeah, you will lose weight. And what was I going to say? Oh, so I was listening to the Game 7 of the Rangers game. I watched the first 2 periods, then I had to leave to go to the city, and I listened to the rest on the radio. And that was tense. What happened? No. What, you? No. Sorry. I was trying to get rid of the buzzing, so I messed with the settings.
So maybe, pretend for a second that I might be an Islanders fan and I don't give 2 shits about the Rangers.
Right.
And explain to me why this matters.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's the old NHLPA, the Players Association approved game, like from '93. Blood on the ice.
The best fights.
It was awesome. You can make Gretzky die. You can murder him in a video game. He would go streaking across the ice and there'd be red blood coming out of his Gretzky head.
Yeah. You could actually give Mario Lemieux cancer. That's actually where it came from.
Steve Larmer has AIDS. Great. I was watching because I'm all Rangery lately because of the playoffs and all excited. I'm watching these videos on YouTube of the Rangers winning the Stanley Cup and everything. So they called 2 icing penalties like in the last 30 seconds of the game. And the last one they called, there's a second and a half left in the Stanley Cup Finals, Game 7, and they call icing on the Rangers. Even Paolo Bure pulls up and he just touches the puck like incidentally, and the ref blows the whistle and they call icing. So now there's a minute and a half left. It's like they already like let the streamers go anyway, they take the last face off, the game's over, and then they win the Stanley Cup, and Steve Larmer is checking his man in the corner. Like the team is celebrating, they're going to get the cup, and here's Steve Larmer just finishing that check. I always love him for that.
There's going to be a few months between, when you can actually beat the crap out of a guy legally. So, why not go for it? That's what I would do.
Yeah. I stayed away from the game last night because I'm bad luck. I went to Game 3, which is actually Game 5. Game 3 at home, Game 5 of the series. And we lost 1-0. It was really bad. I sat next to 2 girls from Ottawa who just happened to be in town and bought $150 tickets in the blue seats, and that was interesting.
Were they teased mercilessly? Was that?
They were like, "Oh, we're from Regina. I bet you don't know where that is." I'm like, "That's in Saskatchewan." They're like, "Whoa, impressive."
And your follow-up question was, have you ever seen a Mountie? Because I've never met a Canadian that's actually seen a Mountie.
There's a lot of land out there, Dave.
I'm assuming they...
You can live in Canada and not see anyone.
I'm assuming they're all pooled somewhere in the north, and there's like a Mountie convention that they have, and it's kind of like a record fair or like a sci-fi convention, but everyone's dressed like a Mountie.
I'm pretty sure you could live there your whole entire life and not even see your own family. If you live in the remote parts.
Well, then I should move to Canada.
Yeah. That's a broad... I'm painting the entire country with a broad brush there. But, yeah, if you don't live in the strip bar section, it's that of the woods.
That is, actually. Have you spent any time in Montreal at all?
God, no.
Oh, really?
There's I've spent 2 hours north of Montreal, which was not even remotely like anywhere I've ever been before in my life.
It's
quite the different scene.
Yeah, definitely. I was at a bar. There's a strip called St. Catherine's that is the epicenter of teenage debauchery. And there was one bar that had a wrestling ring in the middle of it. And you could get drunk and you could wrestle your friends. And I thought that might be the best idea I've ever heard in my entire life.
That is good.
Let's move this show to Montreal.
Exactly. I mean, that would be great. I mean, you know,
it's weird. Canadians have like the hang-ups about one thing, but not the other. Like you can't like if you would talk about age, they'd get very upset. But if you want to go midget tossing, it's like fine.
I do know that there's only rent-a-cops on the street in Montreal, so it's one of those situations where I was with.
What do you mean?
I was with a local Montreal person. I don't know what they're called. If they're Montrealians,
dicks.
They're called dicks. And a cop, what I thought was a cop, walked by us, and he goes, "Hey, watch this."
Dave, they call them bobbies.
Are they bob? No, that was England.
No,
yeah,
sorry.
But he turns to him and he just goes, "Hey, fuck you." And the guy just gets on his radio, and I guess they can call real cops, but they're not. It's like an entire city just policed by guardian angels. And I really considered after a while of that being the place that I would like to settle down and really, you know, start my life. Because if there's a place where you can tell, you know, a cop or a fake cop, fuck you, and nothing can happen from that, I mean...
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
If you know, I remember when Giuliani was the mayor in New York. He said that like somebody gave the cops a finger and they arrested this kid. It's like, well, isn't that kind of like free speech? And I don't want to get into that whole conversation, but they, you know, Giuliani was like, no, you're not allowed to give cops the finger. They should be able to arrest you.
Call in if you disagree. I really do think, you know, Giuliani being the mayor that would start ticketing people for jaywalking. Really brought an element to the city that you know, if you're from New York and you're old school New York and you remember the seedy aspects of it, and you know, if you're not, you'll see it every once in a while. You'll see some New Yorker or some recent transplant that'll be like, look at how crazy the city was, and they'll post a photo album on Facebook of like pictures of like the subway with actual graffiti on it,
right.
Which actually did happen, and you know, it was a much more colorful place, a much more dangerous place. But,
sure.
I mean, it was kind of awesome in a lot of ways, and
it was awesome if you weren't one of the people who got robbed or something.
Or vandalized.
Yeah. Yeah, the subways in the early '90s were pretty rough. Pretty rough, my friends. Let me tell you.
You never had to pay. You never had to pay for them. It was great. You know, everyone jumped the turnstiles. It was
listening to Check Your Head and keep my head down.
Yeah. This is the old man reminiscent.
Oh my God! Don't jump the turnstile at Penn Station. Every single day I walk through there and they have guys just locked up and their hands behind the back. So if you're listening and you're thinking about jumping the turnstile at Penn Station, think twice, my friend.
It's really easy to just stand by the turnstile and wait for people coming out that all have monthlies, and you can just ask them for a swipe. That's really the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, do they swipe you in?
Yeah, usually.
But they made that
never
illegal
do that.
too. But I've swiped in tourists because you could tell they have no idea what the hell's happening.
Oh, but I
and
take their Metro card and do it.
Yeah, this British family, like half the family got through, and the other two guys are like sitting on the other side. That's how they talk.
We're bloody screwed, mate.
Yeah, so I swiped like the two of them through just to give New York and America a good face. USA, like, hey,
New Yorkers aren't that bad. Yeah,
we're okay. Yeah. We're all right. We'll help you out. I'm always looking to help people out in the subway. I don't know why. I want to like show them where to go. I see them looking at a map, and I'm like, I stand next to them and stare at them and wait. just ask me. I'll tell you where to go.
And they
Look
go
into
home
my
with
eyes. I'll tell you where you're going.
And they go home with a story, and they say, this creepy dude kind of stood by me for a while, and I think he was going to rob me.
And then he helped me. But you could always tell, even if it's just like a regular white guy, and even if he doesn't have square glasses on, there's something like in his steely eyes. You're like, this guy's from Norway.
Yeah.
You could tell. You could tell the dude's from like from you know, Findus, Norway. Fish fingers.
Or the way they're looking around. I mean, they could be a local that's just looking for an opportune time to masturbate.
All right, take everything out of their hands. Take the glasses off. Forget about the haircut and the clothes they're wearing. You could dress him up in a suit and stand him there, and you could tell that he's foreign by the look in his eyes. I'm telling you.
Is that the desperation? The
something?
The terror?
Maybe it's a look of
terror.
Being lost, you know, overwhelmed by the sheer size of the metropolis.
I think you're going to say the people in New York. The sheer size of the people in New York.
Ah, they're so fat.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for the stories of when people come back from visiting America and what they actually have to say about us. Because
Depends on where they go.
I mean, if they go to Mississippi, I mean, I've actually
Jeez.
I met a guy who I worked at a convenience store when I was in high school, and there was a nice Indian man that I worked with who his first experience in America was in Alabama, and for years apparently he was down there for about 3 or 4 years, didn't leave this rural town in Alabama that he lived in, and that was his idea of what America was like, and that's the equivalent of, you know, I can't even think of that, you know, what that would be like, and that being your perception of what the country is like is completely off, but made for some hilarious accents. The combination of an Indian accent with like a Southern accent is one of my favorite things of all time. I have to say that
I'm fascinated by accents and how they were developed. Not fascinated enough to research any of it or read about any of it, but I'm always wondering how they developed. And like you got the Wicked Tuna accent and how that's watch Wicked Tuna on Tuesdays at I don't know what time it's on.
all the time. There's
Yeah, it's all the
marathons
time,
every
yeah.
day.
My kids watch Storage Wars now. They love it.
Oh,
They're
really?
like 10-year-old kids, and they're like, Dad, Barry really screwed up.
Barry never screws up. It's that fat guy with the
Yeah,
tank tops.
he walks out with nothing. Oh, I made the trip out here.
$40 bill all day long.
Yeah, right. What is his catchphrase?
The wow factor.
The wow factor. These guys immediately, as soon like even Deadliest Catch, they run out and start making merchandise. Like, oh, we're gonna make all this money. You know, they
wonder-
probably do.
Well, it's probably fed to them. I mean, there's probably some guy behind the scenes going, "You should say this. You know,
Right.
this should be your catchphrase." And I do notice things like Storage
You
Wars.
think?
Well, seriously, stating the obvious. But Storage Wars, the wife of the dorky guy, Brandy or whatever,
yeah.
they have done their damnedest to make her look, you know, appealing in some
Right.
way,
Sure.
shape, or form. And like,
Yeah.
you know, she was a little bit more trashy looking, which I actually appreciated a little bit, you know, more in the beginning. And now they're trying to make her look a little more stylish. And watching that and seeing, you know, how that show has progressed, and you know, wondering what the behind-the-scenes coaching is involved in that is my most fascinating part of
Right.
watching bad television, because you know there's someone back there going, the ratings aren't high enough, we need this.
Right. And sure, then it goes into they start editing it weird and like, you know, it's edited backwards or it makes no sense. But you know, I have no problem with that. I know I'm watching Storage Wars. It's not like, you know, I'm looking for the truth.
Is there a level you won't? Is there a level you won't hit? Like, will you not watch Bad Girls Club? I mean, is there? You know,
Yeah, probably not. I mean, if you told me to watch it, I would, and there was some kind of a
On
value.
recommendation.
Yeah.
So call in and tell John Houlihan what bad reality television shows he should be watching.
if there's some kind of ironic value, but a lot of them will just make me angry. I don't want to be angry.
Prince Fielder is a huge man.
He's big and he's got blonde hair or something.
Didn't he steal a base recently? Wasn't there something about him
I
stealing
saw
a
it
base?
come up on my fantasy stats.
No one was counting on that.
That's real fantasy.
That's a point you get just for I don't know
Yeah.
where the hell that came from, but
Here comes this guy. All right, here's Raul Ibanez, old man left fielder, 39, I believe, and I picked him up because Brett Gardner went down with an injury. And,
what a loss for your team that must have been.
It's terrible. I have a lot of Yankees on my team. I don't know why. I'm not
You're
rooting
good
for you,
that.
though.
It's the guys you know.
Fuck you, Raul Ibanez.
Honestly, you know them the
He
best.
might hit a couple home runs. I need home runs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys play fantasy baseball, but
Who do you have that's the big home run producer?
Miguel Cabrera is my guy.
If he's
Don't
not
hit
good?
him in the eye with a baseball when he's bleeding. God damn it. And I have R.A. Dickey, which is no one has. Like 0% of the league owns him. But you're all idiots because he's 3-1.
No,
if
there's
it's
no-
not raining, he's going to have quality starts and things.
You have to get clinical about it, and there's no knuckleballers in the majors anymore besides Dickey, I believe. I think he's the only one.
He's the
left.
only one left. But Wakefield retired,
Yep.
and before, I guess, Charlie Huff on the used to be the third base coach for the Mets, or the pitching coach for the
Yep.
Mets.
So you've got to assume that most of these guys that are going to face him have never seen a knuckleballer before, and that's going to take 3 or 4, 10, 15 at bats to really
Before
know.
Charlie Huff, there was High Sox McGillicuddy, I think.
He had a handlebar mustache. He was
Yeah.
quite the fisticuffs expert.
That's when they had they had a square instead of a dime. I want to play a song by a band from Chicago called The Columbines of Chicago, incidentally, if I could do it, if I could figure out how to do this. Hope this works. It's not working. Come on, do it. Yeah, it worked good enough. right, we're back. Waddle-daddle.
Oh,
Gooble geeble.
I'm not good with my...
Gobble. It's the Grease. No one knows. You remember the Grease Man? Nobody remembers that guy, right?
Who?
The Grease Man?
No, what was
He
that?
was I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. He was a good wacky DJ.
Speaking of DJs, you want to...
Pete Fornatale died. Rest in
That's-
peace. Is that what you were leading up to?
Yeah, so I figured we'd mention it. I mean, a force in rock and roll, especially in New York.
Yes, and I have a funny voicemail to play that my friend left me about Pete Fornatale dying, but I can't play it right now because we have a caller, and it's Mario. Let's see what he wants. Mario, can you hear me?
Oh, I'm on the air.
You're on the air.
Turn on your radio, sir.
Why? What's the
I hear an
matter?
echo.
You hear an echo?
That's me and my radio.
Turn down your radio, goddammit. I've always wanted to tell someone to turn down their radio.
I want to know if I'm the 50th caller. Did I win?
You're the second caller, and
The first that's speaking in a language that we can understand.
someone called before.
The answer is, sounds like Manfred Mann.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You're the winner. We are running a contest. Dave, you want to tell them a little bit about the contest we'll be running here tonight?
So this is a great prize for anyone that is listening. I managed to wrangle up some Pro Set Superstars music cards. Now, these are from the, I believe, mid-90s, 91, so they're actually earlier than that. And the best part of them is that you can win a rock and roll trip to London. So this being 1991, I'm sure Jackal is playing, and I'm sure Whitesnake is making an appearance. All of your favorite bands.
Sinister Minister, or is that exclusive to Long Island?
Dread Zeppelin. Dread Zeppelin, your favorite Led Zeppelin reggae band, cover band.
These are like baseball cards, but for rock
I'm
stars.
coming to. I want it. I want the prize.
Are you on your way here? You want anything for free?
Well, I'm going to open a pack.
Oh man!
I am on my
Don't
way
open
to
that.
collect the prize in person.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's see what we got here.
Oh,
All right, well-
hey, buddy.
First, here we have.
I
Some,
know this listener.
we have some Legends cards. We have a iconic picture of John Lennon giving the peace sign, which is absolutely lovely. Below that, we have Bob Marley. It's the picture that it was sitting on every asshole's dorm room wall. That
Oh man!
the
yeah.
guy you bought drugs
Hey
from.
Mario, I think I have your theme song coming up soon.
So No Woman, No Cry on this one. Who's after Death Angel? Does anyone remember Death Angel?
Yeah, of course.
They were formed in San Francisco in 1982. This is interesting. I've never heard Death Angel. Maybe we'll play them later. Zach Wilde.
Mario, sorry. Go ahead. Zach Wilde. Yeah, I have his. I'm a user of his distortion pedal because my other one broke.
Really? Is that your excuse?
I didn't buy it.
He also has his flange and his digital delay, but we won't
It
tell anyone
belongs
that.
to Patrick Walsh. It's Patrick Walsh's pedal. It's not mine. It has the Zach Wilde signature spiral on it.
So after
It
that-
works just fine.
Oh, here's a
Nice KRS-One. That's
Yes.
mine. Mario, you still there? Mario knows KRS-One.
Really?
I don't know what happened. We lose him? Oh, I know what happened. Sorry, Mario. I got nothing. Fucking radio show's a disaster.
You
Yeah, I
win.
know,
You
but
win
you're
nothing
supposed
if
to-
you hang up, sir.
Is he coming through on the computer, Mike?
I'm not hearing him.
I'm not hearing him.
Mario, you're there. You have 3 seconds to respond. Mario.
I think he hung up.
Well, then these Superstars cards are
It's
mine.
still up for grabs. Oh. Hold on a second. Hello.
Yes, what's going on? I'm talking to you. You guys are not answering me.
You're on the air. Sorry, I had it switched over to a different thing because I wanted to play your theme song, but I
Oh,
couldn't
now
find
I
it.
hear that stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
now you're right.
KRS-One.
I'm sorry, sir.
The
You're the,
answer is KRS-One. The real name is
Chris.
Chris Parker.
Chris Bart. Can you spell Chris?
KRIS.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Impressive. Mario,
Chris came to my radio show back in 1980, whatever, with Just Ice. He was living in a homeless shelter in off of Myrtle Avenue with Just Ice,
this guy's the real deal.
That's impressive.
and came and span a few records and did a few rhymes for us right there back at. Am I allowed to mention the competition?
Mention
Friday
whoever
City
you want.
Radio,
I don't give a crap.
WPIR in New York.
What is the name of it?
WPIR, WPIR. We play.
They apparently played a whole lot of something.
Disco lives forever. No, Mario's an old hand at the punk rock game.
And listen, I will tell you, we were allowed
He
to
knows
play
Billy
music
Bragg and
from
stuff.
other bands like Manfred Mann, and we were allowed to play anything we wanted. Not these. Well, who are these people that we're listening to here?
These most of these bands are bands I personally know, and I would not play them if I thought they sucked. I actually like this music. I think it's
Are
the
you
best new
taking
music
payola?
out there. No,
Are
I'm
you
not taking
taking payola?
payola. No, but if you want to donate,
I'll give you $10 to play me playing the harpsichord.
That could be lovely.
I will not turn down $10 if you want to play the harpsichord.
I'll do it.
All
for
right,
$10.
I'm coming over with my harpsichord. And what did I win?
You want a pack of these cards?
Yeah.
You want a pack of these cards in it, which includes KRS-One.
cards.
Okay, you got them.
There's
I know you do.
Aside, I've got to go. I got to go get ready to play some cards somewhere tonight. But I'd like to.
That's right. I forgot to.
Congratulate you, Sir John, on this auspicious occasion of the grand opening, the grand event of your first radio broadcast. It's truly a momentous occasion.
Thanks, Mario.
And
Appreciate that.
I wish you all the success in the world.
Yeah, and if I didn't agree to play
I
poker tonight, you wouldn't
I
be
foresee
so happy.
syndication. I foresee syndication any day now.
Does anybody else understand what he said?
I think he said we're going to be like Baywatch, but on the radio.
He foreskins some
All right,
stations.
Before I hang
You
up, I got one
foreskin
more thing
station?
to say.
Yes. Go ahead. You
Before
have
I
you have the floor.
This is for FUD. Baba Booey. Baba Booey.
All right. I gotta hang up.
goodbye.
Goddamn
Bye.
prank callers. I mean, seriously.
Every
That
time,
was
man.
a long way for a prank call.
Yeah.
Totally farcical.
Yeah.
Totally farcical call.
I'm still looking at these cards. Alias? I've never heard of a band called Alias.
Oh no, you know?
No.
I've heard of them. What does it say about Alias? What
It
are
all
their
began.
stats?
It all began in 1988 when these enterprising and engaging musicians joined forces to record their self-titled debut album. A unique, aggressive, surging brand of rock and roll has kept the group in the public eye. Not my public eye, apparently. Their songs are often biographical and tell the story of the ups and downs of their private lives.
Oof.
That's a lot of songs
Getting
about
deep. Let me see what they look
HJs
like.
and-
Let me take a look at that. Oh my God. You know, there was somebody who said that you could just you could know whether you like the band or not just by Google image searching them. It's almost 100% accuracy.
I'm gonna disagree with you just on my favorite band of all time. I would not like if I just saw a picture of them, and I don't understand the whole hoopla behind them because if I had seen a picture before I heard them, I would never have loved the Ramones.
Really?
Yeah,
Just 'cause
You're
you
going to
think-
base it on looks?
You think they were
yeah,
sticky?
This is a real stick and thorn for me.
I'm sorry. I mean, they're my favorite band of all time, but I mean, it would have looked a little affected to me. It would have looked like something
Right,
that,
they're trying, but they were put together, I guess you could say.
yeah, I mean, when your other option is like Captain and Tennille or Boston, I mean, I guess you kind
Right.
of, and although I've grown to appreciate the dad rock, if you want to call it that, I mean, there's a lot of bands that I've discovered later in life. I mean, if you can tell me what the discernible difference other than politics is between Grand Funk Railroad and MC5, I would like to know it because I mean, they're both great bands.
You make a good argument. I'm not going to argue with you.
I mean, I think there's a lot of bands out there. I mean, that you can find kids if you have a record player. That's that thing that sits in your dad's or your grandfather's.
What was your
cabinet.
first record, Dave?
My the first album that I ever purchased was actually a cassette.
Oh, you didn't have like a 45 and you're a kid? You're pretty young, though.
Well,
right?
I had those
You're
flexi.
seven,
I had
you're
those
40.
I'm 40.
Flexi discs
You're a
don't
kid.
count.
I had those flexies. But the first album I ever bought was actually there was two on the same day. It was It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back
Wow,
and Appetite
impressive.
for Destruction on the same day.
Not so impressive.
It's a great album.
Sure
I mean,
it is.
But I mean, yeah.
If you're an asshole.
Yeah.
How do you get laid in 1930?
Oh, so it's going back to Pete Fornatale, great New York radio DJ. That's right. It's a segue. It's called a segue. It's spelled S-E-G. And
like the scooters.
I couldn't get to it because I was talking to Mario, so I'm going to backtrack and play this. This guy Fudd who comes to play poker with us is just a Queen's nut job. He leaves me voicemails because he doesn't text, and I have just a voicemail box filled up with Fudd voicemail. So hopefully this will work, and we can hear the Pete Fornatale
Classic.
eulogy by Fudd.
Oh, what happened, cuz? Pete Fornatale, over Jenny. What a shame. Anyway, going back.
I love it.
Was he crying?
I think he's always crying. But then he, back in, I guess this is June. Back in June, he eulogized Hideki Irabu, who you remember was a Yankee pitcher, Japanese pitcher, brought in, did not succeed. I think George Steinbrenner called him a fat, pus-filled toad. And he was not a success, and he ended up tragically hanging himself last summer.
Man.
He did.
Not heavy enough to break the rope, apparently.
Oh. How bad does it have to be, man? How bad does it have to be to do that?
It's be bad enough that we're making fun of him.
But listen, Fudd had a couple things to say to him. He left me a voicemail, and hopefully this is
voicemail.
This is it. Oh no, that's Fudd with the truck back there. Here we go.
Wow, cuz Hideki Irabu dead at 42. Possible suicide. What the fuck? Call me back.
Call me
Fuck
back.
him.
Fuck him. The greatest.
I want
Fuck him.
I want that man to eulogize me. That's apparently quite an honor.
Let me tell you, cuz this Dave guy, he was up there with his rock and roll band, and they weren't as good as Aerosmith. Fuck him.
Fucking electrocuted. Fucking electrocuted at Don Pedro. Fuck that guy.
Cause
he'll tell you all sorts of stories about seeing Ted Nugent. And
I've seen the Nuge.
You've seen the Nuge?
I have seen the Nuge.
How was it? He's been in the news lately because he's a fucking maniac. He's a card-carrying
He's a
lunatic.
He's a nut. But for as far as the show went,
yeah,
the guy shot his fucking guitar with a bow and arrow like during the show. It was pretty fucking wild.
He should shoot that guitar with a bow and arrow.
No, Strangehold's pretty cool.
He's a little outspoken.
Stranglehold's good.
Stranglehold.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was thinking of some.
He's still
strange
playing.
brew.
Still playing, screaming about right-wing insanity.
I like to think of an alternate future where G.G. Allen was the actual
with his light switch penis,
exact opposite of Ted Nugent, and he was going on tour with Ron Paul and really, talking about the people.
Well, you don't want the government interfering in your feces throwing.
I mean, "Don't Talk to Me" could be an anthem. I really think that could be a libertarian anthem.
Hey, man, anybody tells me what to do with I want to stab the audience members, and that's my right.
Yeah, if I want shit on the microphone, I mean,
Freelandia.
There needs to be more, And growing up, I always thought that there was too much politics in music. I was never like a big Dead Kennedys fan.
No, me neither. I got a confession. I hardly ever listen to lyrics ever. I don't know.
I couldn't agree with you on that more. Seriously,
I really don't. I couldn't tell you.
Myself.
There's songs I've heard maybe 1,000 times, and I'm not exaggerating, that I don't know the words to.
So how do you do karaoke? I mean, that's a big part of karaoke.
It's not easy. I usually lose.
I mean,
wait, is there a winner in that?
There's no winners.
I've never done karaoke.
There's a winner, and
there's no I in karaoke.
The winner is people like the bands like Dishwalla or Lisa Loeb, or people that still exist in people's public consciousness because of karaoke. And I really think that there's a lot of people that owe a supreme debt of gratitude to anyone who runs a karaoke station, because if you wrote a song that 3 people heard in the early to mid 90s, you were being sung by drunken sluts every weekend. And I really think, not even just drunken sluts. I feel like I'm being a little misogynistic.
Yeah, you are. You're fired.
There's like frat boys and anyone else that really wants to express themselves through songs that may have fallen by the wayside a little bit.
Sure, and it's funny, some people just have the balls to do it. And as many times as I've been on stage, because I'm always on stage, man, I can't do it. I guess I could if I had enough drinks in me.
Impossible. It's impossible to look cool doing karaoke.
I've been at I don't look cool anyway. I'm not worried about my image. I'm just like,
you know what I mean, though. It's really there's no pulling out of that going, that was good.
I don't like going on roller coasters either.
That's
right.
You're fired.
That's right.
What's that all about?
Yeah, well, it's a very polarizing thing.
Really?
Bradley R. Weissenberg, our first caller, will tell you that I'm not a man.
Was there a moment that you decided? Like, was there a line that you were on and you were just like, you know what, I'm not doing this?
Yeah, the moment I decided was when I realized that I'm doing something ridiculously dangerous for very little payoff.
Isn't that life, though? I mean, if you want to get existential about it.
You're going to get hit by a bus tomorrow. Well, I'm not driving a bus on a fucking loop 200 feet in the air.
I see it as there's a cool...
I don't get anything out of it. I get off the roller coaster. I go, oh, okay. I've ridden them many, many times.
I think that's weird.
I don't like them.
I think it's weird too.
I think that's a weird trait.
I'd rather wait for you to get off the roller coaster. I'll sit there and drink a beer and smoke a cigarette. Until
What
you get
about
back.
water parks? How do you feel about water parks?
Love them.
Really?
Really?
Love all the water
What?
rides. All the water rides. Action Park. I killed like 3 people.
Action Park killed 3 people.
Wasn't there a thing recently with the Action Park ride that closed like the day? You got to see this ride if you look it up. It's a water slide and it loops around like
Inside.
180 degrees inside. And at the end, there's not a pool or anything. It's like a mat. And they used to force the employees of Action Park to test out the ride. And they would come out all fucked up and cut up and, bruised. And they shut down the ride almost immediately. It was like, I forget, some other foreign company designed this piece of shit. And then they shut it down, but they never dismantled it. So if you'd go to Action Park, it would be there like this monument to this dangerous ride that no one was allowed to go on. But they also had the Alpine Slide, which is a concrete slide where you could lie down on a skateboard. It was an insanely dangerous place, and finally they closed it up. But I think there are many fatalities at Action Park. But I love water rides. Love them all. Love the Tarzan swing.
What's the one out on Long Island, all the way out at the end?
Splish Splash.
I had
Yeah.
a lot of friends that worked there, and I would hear some horror stories about what went on there. I mean, basically,
well, the people they hire are very attentive to safety. They're not 17-year-old kids in Oakleys who could give a fuck whether you die or not. No, I've been to Splish Splash I think once, but that's
I've never been. I've never even heard
if
of
the
it.
rides aren't. That's weird, man. I like dangerous water rides and not dangerous regular rides.
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm just having a
Are
moment
you
here.
afraid of like mankind's like?
No, I'm
building-
afraid of flying
building?
out of the fucking roller coaster because some asshole didn't strap me in.
Well, that's it. You're afraid, but it's
what are they
still a
gonna do?
man-made pool.
The next day you're dead, and they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit if you
gone.
die in the water park.
Yeah, but I'm in the water. I like being in the water.
see, listen, the way I see it,
I don't
is-
like the water, the diseases that are floating in the water,
Well,
like the,
I was
babies'
gonna say,
diapers and things.
I just received a text from our friend Derek.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I wonder if we have a sound effect that
wonder.
matches up with the exact scenario.
Oh, we don't. We do.
not working.
Well, no, it works.
Eat shit, Derek.
So anyway, Derek came in and said, "Water rides are sitting in other people's piss and filth."
It's
Boy.
true. If you ever go to Sesame Place, if you have kids or something.
So's the Subway, though.
Yeah, I guess. But I
Eat
wash
shit,
my hands
Derek.
Well, Derek will be eating shit on his next water ride. Other people's fecal
Well,
matter.
that's why I figured it would be ample.
Yeah, it's gross. When I was at Sesame Place, they had like a lazy river. Or
What's
Sesame.
a lazy river?
It's in Pennsylvania. What's a lazy river? You got to be kidding me.
What? I don't have kids. I've never been to
Never been
Sesame
on, you
Place.
don't have to have kids to know what a lazy river is. They put you on a tube and you fucking go down the river.
Oh, it's just like
Go in a circle. Yeah,
it's
not,
fucking boring.
It's not
yeah.
called the awesome, spinning river. It's called the lazy river.
Well, I like the awesome.
And there was a diaper floating
oh,
down the lazy river,
That's
and that's when I
awful.
was kind of like out with the water thing. And people are like that. Anytime there's a lot of babies and people are shitting their pants, it's not good.
Ridiculous.
I honestly, I think if there was if you watch, going back to bad television, My Strange Addiction, I'm waiting for the episode with someone that goes to water parks because they obsessively collect Band-Aids. Because that would be a great one. I would watch that one.
Dude, there's nothing grosser than seeing like a Band-Aid on
Oh.
the floor, so it just grosses
Ever
me
catch
out.
one in the lips? It's disgusting.
That and like
It's
hair,
awful.
like a hair in my food, and I'm just.
What?
Oh no, that's
it's
game over.
It's a
Yeah,
game over.
Game
Game
over.
over. Game over.
There is actually
There's no winning.
It's like
friends.
when you're I don't even want to say it.
I don't even know what you're going to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah,
I don't wanna hear
I
it.
think I'm
I don't
bailing
wanna
out of
hear
that
it.
one.
I don't
I was going
wanna-
to say when you're having sex and you smell a little bit of ass, it's a game over for me too.
Yeah.
Not
That's kind of
that's
gross.
ever happened to me
I don't think it's ever took me out
after
of the game,
high
though.
school.
wait, your ass or someone else's ass?
Anybody's
Whatever.
ass.
Because your ass is kind of like an intriguing smell, right?
This has
Like,
gone great so far.
Well, we're talking about
I'm
ass.
also
How bad
disgusted
can it
about
be?
boogers.
Oh, we'll get to that. But as far as water parks go, that's a really interesting development that you
It's
don't.
disgusting.
Yeah, I just I'm whatever. It is what it is. I have a weird thing. Man.
I think we came to. Well, no,
I've made-
you
it's
like
almost-
gross rides.
Right, I like to swim in other people's shit, and if that's not going on, I want nothing to do with that ride.
Right.
A decade away from water sports.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
if like people shit their pants on the roller coaster, and I could be underneath it. I mean,
Kind of like a tour bus emptying on like a drawbridge.
What is that? Dave Matthews? Was that a Dave
Yeah,
Matthews? Yeah.
exactly.
or right as they
Thank you.
put the bar down,
Thank
like,
you
hey
for
buddy,
getting
do me a
that.
favor, like blow a snot on me or something. I'm dying over here.
I don't know if snot's on
No,
my
I'm not
face.
into it. I like the Ferris wheel, I guess.
Why? You can throw shit down at people, like, or what's the deal? I don't know.
I don't
I'm not
know.
gonna. I'm not
because
gonna
it
get into
goes
your
slow
psyche.
and in a circle, and it's and I'm afraid of cars too. Cars on the street,
Oh.
they're gonna hit me. They're gonna hit
Well.
all the kids. I'm constantly grabbing children that aren't my own and saving their
Wow,
lives.
wow, that's an,
Let's
that's a
cut that off
development.
right there. It's like,
No,
I thank
I'm
God
stopping
I'm
them
the
from
editor.
going to the street. I talked about this before. I can't, I don't know what's going on.
Stop it!
The older I get, I'm just like worried all the time that someone's going to get hit by a car. It's my worst nightmare in history. And these, slow down.
Have you ever actually have you seen it? I mean, is it?
No, I don't know where it came from. This is like, I don't know, past 7 or 8 years.
Really?
What happened to you, Dave?
Well, I mean, as far as getting hit, I got hit by a car when I was 8.
Did you?
Yeah, my bike got hit. I was trying to cross the street, and there was a one of those big dumpsters when people like clear out their basements or whatever,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
those huge dumpsters sitting on the street.
20 yarder.
Yeah,
Call that
and,
in the industry. Oh, that's a 20 yarder.
I pulled out on my bike to take a look, and ended up the front tire of my bike got hit by a car, and I ended up flying and hitting my head on the curb. And I mean, it wasn't that traumatic. I mean, I
Sounds pretty fucking bad.
I got to stay home from
Sounds
school for a
terrible.
while. My mom's a nurse, so that was taken care of. You know, they took me
Explains
to the
a lot.
hospital, and they asked me if I knew my name, and after that, it was fine. You
If
know,
Woody had gone right to the police,
There you go.
yeah.
this would
What's your
never
name?
have happened.
Thursday.
Apparently, if John Houlihan was there, it could be like a quantum leap kind of thing where they send him back, and he saves me from getting hit by a car.
That's right.
My
I
life
would.
turns out
I would
completely
totally
different.
save you. And I don't know. It's not that I really have too much empathy. It's like, I'm afraid. I don't want to see a kid get hit by a car.
I saw a guy get
It
Why
ruined
not?
my life.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm not a fucking
I'm-
psychologist.
Neither am I. I'm just. No, I'm not psychotic.
I'm the
either.
patient. Don't ask me.
I just want to know why is that like your biggest fear?
I don't know.
Have you hit somebody with a car and you're
Nope. Absolutely
You answered
not.
that a little too quick.
Yeah,
Nope,
that's-
never.
I don't know.
That was
about
rehearsed.
Yeah,
I don't even want to tell you. I was working with a guy.
but I won't tell you. But I'll tell this entire audience.
I'll tell somebody else. I was working
Go
with
ahead.
a guy once, and we're driving down like by Main Street in Flushing here in Queens. This is where we're broadcasting from, by the way. And he goes, "Oh yeah, I hit a Chinese guy here at this intersection once. I just kept going. This is like a painter that if any police are listening, I'm making this up." And I worked with the guy like one day, and I was like, "What?" Like he said it like so matter of fact, like it was normal. He also used to own a liquor store, and forget.
Were those
He almost
connected?
shot somebody. He had a shotgun underneath the counter, like rigged up, and it went off and almost killed 2 old ladies. Well, this is what he's telling me. Who knows if his stories are true or not? But
You sound like
no, I've
bullshit.
never. I've been in a lot of car accidents in the car,
Oh
like
yeah,
a ton.
but that's fun.
Is it?
It can be.
I never got hurt.
I was
so-
gonna say, you don't walk with a limp or anything. You're
No,
good to
I never
go.
got hurt.
You
I
should-
used to drive around.
As a matter of fact, you should be going into car accidents going, I'm never going to get hurt because you're a miracle man.
Those are the people that don't get hurt. There's a reason you worry. It's your brain is telling you.
No,
And it's a safety mechanism. I used to drive around that gigantic 1984 Coupe de Ville Cadillac. That's why I never got
that
hurt.
thing was a tank.
It was a block long, and it was made of steel. I smashed some guy's car so bad with that thing coming around a corner when I
Didn't
was like
even-
17. I didn't have a license, a picture license yet. And the guy was a Grateful Dead fan. He was fishing in the lake. And he came running out. His car was totaled. Nothing was wrong with my car. Nothing. It was a tiny
Dent.
little dent in the
This-
one
this-
plastic
I
part.
have seen this car, and for those of you out there, it is a boat.
Luckily,
It's a
the guy was, probably stoned because he had the bears, the dancing bears, with bumper sticker and all that. And he just was like, I don't want to mess up your insurance. Just go. It's like, fucking see it.
I had a similar experience. I was driving a old Ford Econoline van that my old band was touring in, but I kept it as a car. And I was leaving work one day. I was with a buddy of mine, and this guy turned in front of me. It might have been my fault. I might have blown a stop sign. I'm not sure, but I cut his car in half. Like it ripped completely in half.
Oh.
And my buddy had his head down, and he looked up and he goes, "What was that sound?" Like he didn't even feel it. When you're in a van like that, like you don't even
Wow.
feel it. And the guy, we got out of the car. he got out of the car. The guy was like, "Whose fault was that?" And
I was going to say, wait, how do you not know whose fault it was?
Exactly.
I heard that in the earlier part of the story. I didn't want to cut you off, but so I don't even know whose fault it was, but I cut the guy's car in half.
Well, I mean, he came out. He said, for any cops that may be listening,
Yeah.
And he said, "Whose fault was that?" And I said, "I think it was yours." And he said, "Okay, fair enough." I was like,
Wow.
"I'll wait for
What?
my-" And
Some people, a
What
lot of people
did you
are-
get into an accident with Mr. Magoo?
a lot
What
of people are
happened?
very reasonable. That's funny that you brought
Yeah.
that up because of magooing.
Yeah, magooing is
You magooed right through
an
that.
actual thing I did magoo. My girlfriend is from Michigan, and I've noticed there's a
Yeah,
thing.
right. So's mine.
There's an element of people from the Midwest that I call it magooing, and it's when no matter how long they live in the city, they don't know exactly how to walk or interact with other people, and she's the
I
kind
didn't know it had a name. I've seen it. I know what you're talking about.
It's got a name now.
Yeah, she'll open a door to a store, in Manhattan in front of someone, and not walk out into groups of people and not pay attention to where
Oh,
she's
I
going.
hate that.
And
All the doors are on the right, and so if you're
if you're smart,
if you're a
city versed.
yeah, if you're a fucking good walker,
there
for
should be
lack
a
of
license. There
better
should be a
adjective.
license. There should be a New York City walking license. I do agree.
You walk how you drive if you're from the United States. I guess in Britain, I wonder if they're walking on the left.
I don't know. That's an interesting question.
That is a good question.
But,
yeah, that is a great question, John Houlihan.
Yeah, she did. She took me home to meet her folks, and we were in Michigan. And I was driving through a parking lot, and this whole family just walked out in front of my car. I stopped in time. I didn't. There was no. John, calm down. There was no unfortunate accident. It didn't hit any
completely
kids.
calm.
But I turned to her and realized that
I'm nervous hearing you describe that.
That's where she's from. I mean, that's the land of Magoos, and apparently there's a whole
it started
population of them.
there.
They're like the Smurfs, and they exist somewhere.
Michiganders.
and They look up instead of in front of them, and I love her to death. But the girl cannot walk in the city, and I don't think that's something that'll ever change.
Yeah, they walk in front of you, looking around. Just
With their
move
giant
over.
backpacks on.
It's a dumb pet peeve to have. It really is like.
No, it's
But
not. Not if you live or work in New York City.
yeah, but what if you're not in a rush? And we were
Yeah,
John-
really.
I am in a
sure.
rush.
Yeah, but
I'm
sometimes,
always in a rush.
Sometimes I'm in
Yeah.
the city and I'm not in a rush. What if
Bullshit. Bullshit.
John-
I'm calling bullshit on
John
that.
and I were talking about this earlier on the way over here when he picked me up, and it was really,
We are in a rush.
But you'll rush to wait for someone for 20 minutes. You'll rush to
Yeah,
sit at a bar
sure.
by yourself
Right.
and order
And
a
the
drink.
other argument is,
oh,
hey,
but
leave,
I'm drinking. That's rushing to drink.
leave earlier is what someone would tell you. But it's
or
still
no.
it's,
If I leave early, I'm going to be wasted by the time you show
it's
up.
not the time that matters. It's just the annoyance of having something in front of you that you can't get past.
Yeah, but if I have to go, what should take a 10-minute walk, let's say Manhattan, and it takes 17 because I was dicking around with people going, "What's that up there?"
Yeah.
I don't need that.
But
Like
maybe-
that's a rush.
Maybe we should look up every once in a while. I mean, I worked
Sure.
within the footsteps of the
Stop
Empire.
and smell the roses.
I worked within the footsteps of the Empire State Building. I don't think I ever looked up once, at that building the
Yeah.
entire time I worked there. And it comes to the forefront when you have people visiting from out of town, and they're like, "Oh, take me to all these things," and they're like, "What's the Statue of Liberty like?" And you have to say, "Well, I grew up here, but I've never actually been there."
Right. Same thing. Yeah. I've never been to Statue of Liberty.
I was there with a school trip, like when I was like third grade.
Did you
or
go
something.
up to the top or?
No, I think it was under construction during that time.
Oh yeah,
Like,
they
it
used to
was-
have a huge scaffolding built around the
Right.
entire thing for a few years. I think.
I remember like just going there, like, well, what did we show up for? Can I climb on the scaffolding? That would be cool.
They're scrubbing her down her armpits and stuff, making her fresh.
She came from France.
Yeah, I don't do any of those touristy things. I don't know why.
I mean,
should.
I actually had that when Jess's family, my girlfriend's family, showed up.
Oh, well, you got to be the tour guide
Yeah,
and do
but
that stuff, so that's
it's
fun.
It's funny because
I have to ask tourists, what do you want to see? And then
Yeah.
I'll take you there.
Well, one other thing, you have to kind of interject a little bit because they wanted to go to the top of the Empire State Building, for instance, and my suggestion
Your
there.
fear of heights.
Well, no, my suggestion was go to the top of the rock because at this point you go to the top of the Empire State Building. What the hell are you looking at? Queens? What are you looking
Hey,
at?
whoa.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I live in Queens. I'm not from Queens, but you go to the top of the rock, you can see the Empire State Building, and these are the kind of things you need to tell them.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And you
You're
need to
right.
bring in other things. They had other people there that were trying to tell them what to do, and they, we ended up walking through the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade balloons the day before, which is a nightmare. If you don't want to walk
They're
slowly,
setting them up
What,
and
near
stuff,
the
yeah.
park?
yeah, if you don't want to walk slowly behind people, don't ever do that because it's a nightmare.
I definitely don't want to do that.
I mean, like if you have an incredible love of Snoopy, I guess that's one thing. But I mean, as
do.
far as
Joe Cool shirts are the best.
can you find those still? I think that's they're collector's items now.
I have a whole bunch of underoos and all that stuff.
I'm more of a fan of the Big Johnson shirts. Do you remember those? Yeah.
I
Whenever
I couldn't tell the
I
future.
wanted to get like look through all the episodes of Eastbound and Down and get those horrible Kenny Powers T-shirts. Like the one he was wearing in like the second to last or last episode was like a Day Glow cut off black T-shirt, and it just said like, I forget what it said, like, "Hey bitch" or "Shut up," and it's the greatest T-shirts ever. Yeah, that's what the T-shirt said. Shut up.
Hey, bitch, shut
Yeah,
up.
Right. Thank you. Fucking radio show. But I want to get a collection of those T-shirts. I'll have a guy I know who sells T-shirts, who screen prints T-shirts. This guy I know, he does it for a living,
He's not listening.
and no, he's on a plane. I think.
Yeah.
He's on a plane to some other fucking
We'll get those made.
adventure.
Get those made. Get the Big Johnson shirts, the co-ed naked volleyball shirts. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure those
he'll
are
only
getting
charge
hats.
me
I'm getting-
$35 a shirt
Yeah. I'm
getting
because
the
the price
hats
of
made.
cotton.
Tommy
going up.
Rockstar can make those, can't
That's
he?
what I'm talking about.
That's the guy. Name check 1, 2.
Guys called himself Rockstar. So and there we are. So what's next? What are the Mets doing? It's 2-1.
They're losing
Hairston's
Colorado.
on base. These Colorado uniforms, they have fucking vests.
Is anything
Bad.
worse than the Miami Marlins?
Oh
and
my
I actually
God,
said that
that's
correctly
terrible.
for the first time ever. I still say Florida
Florida
Marlins.
Marlins, yeah.
But the Miami Marlins jerseys look like a clown threw up on someone's shirt. And because I'm assuming that's what clown vomit looks like.
No, it looks like a rocket pop that melted on the street.
Have you seen the thing in the outfield when they hit a home run?
No.
It's like this ridiculous mechanism that has dolphins like on a wheel, and the dolphins go around to this fake water, and it's just.
Do they do lines of Coke?
I don't know. They should.
I do.
They're pretty smart. Those dolphins.
Those dolphins.
Probably stay away from coke.
If they had thumbs, they would.
They'd be doing
They'd be
bumps.
your best friend. They'd
Plotting
be
against us.
pulling out their keys in front of every bathroom and every dive bar in New York.
It's this really bad thing in the outfield when somebody hits a home run. It's like this bad animation of this like Rube Goldberg looking fucking thing. I don't know what it is. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. That's what I know.
Can we agree that that's the worst? I mean, that's the worst professional sports logo I've seen.
Oh yeah, in many years. There's
Yeah.
some bad basketball ones. I can't really think of them right now.
Oh, as an Islanders fan, I have to say the Fisherman. The Fisherman is legendary for
Stan
its
Fischler.
which actually, speaking of the Fisherman, in collectability, those jerseys you can't even find those anymore. Like those are incredibly collectible.
Yeah, because a bunch of assholes from Long Island bought them.
Yeah, there's some guy walking around proudly sporting.
Those are the worst. The Rangers Statue of Liberty head jerseys were pretty fucking bad.
Mm.
Those are pretty terrible.
Well, the Mets have gotten the Mets are phasing out the black jerseys.
Yeah. The black jersey reminds me of like it was like halfway through Piazza's career they broke out the black
Yeah.
jerseys and they were that was no good.
I really-
There was a theory that like the black jerseys make you more intimidating looking or something. I don't buy it.
No.
You know what? It's intimidating. Get a fucking hit, buddy. Let's go.
But yeah,
Who is this guy?
I have no idea. I was actually looking at this right now and trying to figure out who that was.
Jason Bay's hurt. Pelfrey's hurt. There's nobody on the starting pitcher we've never heard of. The guy at the plate, I've never seen him before in my life. Take strike one.
Number 4, that's not Lenny Dykstra. I'll tell you that much.
2 out, man, on first.
That is
Here
not-
comes Mike Nicky-ass. So
Oh, he's
hitting
the-
169 with 1 home run,
He's
6
the backup
RBIs.
catcher, right?
Is he?
Yeah, he's the backup catcher to our backup catcher who starts. Yeah, there's not much going on with the Mets. I have to say
They're 11-8. It's
I-
very respectable.
I mean, it's
And he scorches one.
oh, the guy we've never
Gets
heard of.
through.
That was something to see. That was special.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job, dude.
Who's that?
Oh,
Hairston?
Someone's going to pinch run for Hairston. Oh, whoa. What happened? Why are they going to commercial? Anyway. You guys want to listen to us watch TV? Because that's what's going on right
Did the
now.
ball hit him?
Wow.
The ball hit him. He's out. Wow.
Oh, that's...
That is some amateur base
bullshit.
running there. That is some amateur
You got to
base
jump
running.
over that ball, dude. That's a
Yeah.
fucking first and third. Oh. Anyway, here's a... Let's see if this works. Begin by gathering supplies. A song called Legally, He's a Woman. Let's all chill out.
Excuse
All right, that was Congratulations by the Born Loose. And that's another great band.
You're playing with them, right?
Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, we're playing with the Born Loose. The Hookers Family. That's at Don Pedro, 90 Manhattan Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Cinco de Mayo.
Born Loose, I mean, as much as I love that song, I mean, that doesn't do them justice. Larry May, one of the best screams in rock and roll that you'll ever hear.
He used to be in a band called the Candy Snatchers, which that's where you were known from. Everyone knows the Candy Snatchers. Everyone loves them.
Everyone has a good story if they've ever seen them, too.
Yeah.
It's, anything from him bleeding all over you to throwing fish to anything else.
It's funny if you've ever had a conversation with a guy who's covered in blood, like a normal conversation. Hey, you guys sounded really. Hey, thanks a lot.
It's just surprised you had a norent conversation with him.
Dripping in his own blood. Yeah, he was pretty lucid when I talked to him that time.
Usually
I saw him on the street in front of my job.
Uh-huh.
I went outside and I'm smoking a cigarette, and just Larry from the Candy Snatchers. I'm like, Larry. He's like,
Speaking mayonnaise, mayonnaise is the language. It's definitely something. But if you can follow what he's saying, it's some of the most genius stuff you'll ever hear. He'll talk about how his day, and he'll talk about his day and how that parlays into the second Teenage Head record from Canada. It's like
right.
So it's something to behold, definitely.
There was something else the one time I saw them. They were an incredible band. The guitar player in that band, I think he's an Asian dude, maybe. I could be wrong.
Well, in Born Loose, it's Suki.
They were great.
Yeah, and in the Candy Snatchers, actually Matthew Oditis, who unfortunately passed away, and that's
I talked to that dude about his guitar because he when I saw them, he had a Les Paul Jr. I thought it was a really cool guitar. I chatted with him about that, and I found out he died. It was that was a bummer.
Great guitar.
So hey, how would the chance of me getting my hands on that guitar?
Oh God, that's terrible, man. You're fired.
I meant that's how the conversation went for you.
We haven't dedicated enough of the show to talking about Billy Joel, in my opinion.
Well, I'm from Long Island, so.
So you love Billy Joel?
Well, actually, there was a rock. There's if you live in Suffolk, and I actually spent some time living in Suffolk. Suffolk County, for those of you that aren't from New York, is the county that's the furthest out in Long Island. It's after Nassau. It's where the Hicks live in Long Island, in New York, if you have never been there. But there's a rock in a national park that's on the north shore of Long Island.
Sorry.
That there's a plaque on the rock that says, "This rock belongs to Billy Joel." Did
he hit it with his car or something and he claimed it?
Must have hit it with his car. It must be a finders keepers kind of situation. But we would go there and do things that teenagers do. But it was always it was known as the Billy Joel Rock, and it wasn't that far from Sag Harbor, where
Sag Harbor, yeah, town known as Oyster Bay, yeah. Oh, here it is. Best.
Stop lighting the audience. Why does it always seem to hit me in the middle of the night? Stop it. Toby, there's a number I can always dial. Let me do my show, for Christ's sake.
It's the best.
Sounds like Paul Stanley.
Get to that next. It's all related. And at this point, he flips over the piano. He's swinging around the mic stand. Yeah, there he goes. There goes the piano. The rest of the band is just smiling and playing along with their guitars.
Poor guys.
They're professionals.
Liberty DeVito is wailing. I was like, please leave me alone.
We'll be playing tracks from his classical record later.
Glass Houses was in its entirety side one. Album side Fridays. Scott Muni.
I have to say,
carry the four.
I have to say, Billy Joel is probably the only millionaire that I actually feel bad for. Like, you see him on TV or you hear about what things that are going on in his life, and you feel bad for the guy. You feel, like he can't find love.
You?
He keeps crashing his
guess.
car. He's Billy Joel. I mean, like that.
I love that. Let me do my show. Because it's the whole Long Island accent just comes out.
Let me do my show, for Christ's sake.
For Christ's sake. I love it. It's
He-
fucking great. He's mad because some guy was lighting the audience, the spotlight guy or whatever, was putting the lights on the crowd. And that really pissed him off.
I mean, he didn't bring out
Best YouTube video of it. Just write in like Billy Joel ape shit
Let me do
or
my show, for Christ's sake.
or Billy Joel freaks out, and it'll be the first fucking thing that comes up. And Believe me, you won't be disappointed.
That is a big dose of Long Island, though. I mean, there are certain things that just denote Long Island. I think "use guys" is a term that you'll only
Use
hear on-
guys?
yeah, use guys need to whatever. But no, Billy Joel. That's a sad man. I really hear that.
He is the
and
sad clown.
I start.
Was there an Onion article
tearing
like
up a little.
about what Billy Joel's thinking when he's driving to a party? Like he knows someone's gonna ask him to play piano. God damn it!
I actually my favorite Onion article of all
Hey,
time.
no, it'd be great if someone knew how to play piano and knew some songs. We're all having a good time. All right, for Christ's sakes.
There was a one line, just one of those headlines in the Onion. There wasn't actually an article attached, which was just "Scientists isolate Gene Simmons." And I just I still think of that and laugh.
The Onion the Onion when it was a paper was great, and they still have hilarious things. But there's an oversaturation. It's an Onion overload almost, and their sports page is pretty bad.
There's some
normally.
funny stuff.
There's
Every
some
once in a
funny
while.
things. The sports is the weakest. And because you have the Onion in your email, the Onion on the radio, the Onion a actual paper, the Onion on Facebook's constantly posting. It's a little too much Onion. They should, they're oversaturating the market.
I feel like it might be one of those things though, where like people become so used to that style of humor because of the Onion. In the same way that like your dad'll talk about how much he loved the Beatles, and then you hear him, and it's like, okay, well, I understand that this is good, but it's not as groundbreaking to you because you didn't grow up in a world before that existed.
No, I get it. I understand. No, my dad doesn't like the Beatles though, but
neither does my dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my dad doesn't care about music or sports. He just bets on sports if and with his buddies. He doesn't. He
How do you bet
subscribes
on
to
the
no
Beatles?
team. You bet on the Beatles?
I'm
Well, you
curious.
bet for
How
Ringo
would-
and Paul, and you're in good shape.
I did actually. There was a thing on Twitter after Paul McCartney performed on the Grammys, where it was a whole bunch of young people that had
The
no
Paul
idea.
McCartney Awards.
They had no idea who Paul McCartney was. So
Yeah.
there was like a whole like Twitter feed of people that didn't know who the old guy was that was singing that horrible
No idea.
song.
Who's that old lady?
Yeah.
She's like Angela
He's
Lansbury.
a handsome woman. I do have to say.
He is. He's taking on the bird look. The estrogen is overflowing.
He looks better than Keith Richards. Have you seen him lately? He looks like
Oh yeah, he looks the same to me all the time.
He was doing something for Hubert Sumlin, the guitarist for Howlin' Wolf, died
It's
recently.
great to be anywhere.
And he did a benefit thing for his family or whatever, and they showed pictures of it, and he looked like a skeleton. It was.
Well, he should look like a skeleton.
Well, I mean, as long as he survives. I mean, like
I guess.
I realize that we're living in a generation as rock and roll fans where everyone we love is going to die before us. Hopefully, I mean, and that's a horrible thing to say,
Well,
but I mean,
yeah, I'm a few years older than you.
We're
That's
all
already
gonna,
happening.
we're all gonna see Chuck Berry die. We're all gonna see Little Richard die. We're all gonna see the rest of the Beatles die.
We talked about this the other night.
Yeah.
That your heroes, your musical heroes, probably did their best work when they were 10 years younger than us. And
Well, yeah.
That's
10 years.
I just wanted to depress you.
Well, I mean, also, I mean,
jeez, man,
I'm a Ramones. I spoke earlier about being a big Ramones fan. I was born in '81, and
really?
the album that came out in '81 for the
I got
Ramones
shocks older than
was Pleasant Dreams.
Ooh.
So I mean,
yeah, that's bad.
There wasn't a whole lot left in that Ramones tank by
No.
the time I was born.
Nah.
So I mean, my favorite band of all time is a band that's peaked before I was born. So you see
That's
something
common
like that.
though, I think.
I mean, what's your? I mean, if you had to pick, I know that's a horrible question. If you had to pick a favorite band,
Oh, Ramones is definitely my
Ramones.
favorite band.
by a long shot.
But if you wanted to talk about my favorite Ramones album, we're gonna have a problem because I'm not gonna pick the first one, and you're gonna get mad at me.
Rocket to Rush is my favorite, or Road to Ruin. It's a toss.
Road to Ruin's my favorite.
I think it has a lot to do with which one you had first, and if you were born.
So yours was Animal
after
Boy?
that-
I had an 8-track.
Halfway to
I had
Sanity?
an 8-track of Road to Ruin.
Really?
Yeah.
No, Leave Home was the album I spent the most time with, and was the one album I was in constant rotation
Did you have
in my
it with
room when I was
Carbone
a
and Not
kid.
Glue?
Of
Yeah.
course,
You have to have the original
Just
version.
asking?
of
Yeah.
course.
Hold on.
What was the song they replaced? The,
Sheena as a punk rocker was the replacement.
Sheena is a punk
What a,
rocker.
what a
isn't on
hump
the
of a
ori-
song that was.
Isn't on the
Way to
original.
phone
Leave
it
Home?
in, guys.
One of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time.
But I mean, Carbone and Not Glue. I mean, that
Oh, man.
if you didn't mention a brand name there, that would have been a hit. I
We
mean,
used-
maybe not a hit. I mean, it's the Ramones. I don't think that's
We used to
possible.
cover that in Endangered Feces.
We covered that
band
as well.
I used to do.
One of my old bands covered that as well. We actually recorded it. But yeah, Carbone and Not Glue is a great song. But I can understand the Leave Home. I mean, I'm not going to attack you for Leave Home. I mean, I think it's pretty much a continuation of the first record, but it's a little more polished. It's like a better sounding version. It's like you watch the pilot episode of a show you love, and then you watch the second episode, and it's got higher production value. It's a little
sure,
bit...
yeah. Even if you watch from the beginning of Breaking Bad to now, or The Wire, even.
Yeah. I never got into The Wire. I mean,
really?
like I've seen it before.
Oh, you're one of those people. Huh?
No. I mean, I'm sure I would love it. At this point, I haven't watched it just because I would have no one to. I would have no one to talk to about it.
Yeah.
At this point, I'd be the asshole that is watching season 1 and wants to talk about what's going on. And honestly, the social experience of watching shows is pretty much a huge pull in that.
Sure, that's a big part of it.
You got to be.
But no, you have to. You could watch it all by yourself and never talk to anyone. You'd love it.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, the show that I'm obsessed with now is The Voice.
What?
Is that with Steven Tyler as a judge or something?
No, that's American Idol.
Oh.
The Voice is.
Did you watch America's Got Talent too?
No, I can't watch that. It doesn't.
Why not?
It hasn't started yet.
Started.
I'll watch it with Howard just to see what the Stern aspect adds to that. But he seems to have. He went through that crotchety phase, and now he seems to have mellowed with age to the point where he's going to be a judge on a reality show. I'm sure they're going to cast, they're going to position him as the asshole, but, in the long run, that's not something that I would have imagined late 80s, early 90s Howard Stern doing.
Right. Well, I think his girlfriend's mellow, his wife or whatever you want to call her.
Yeah,
woman's friend.
He was talking about getting a manicure the other day. I was like, oh, man.
I obviously...
I haven't listened in a while. I want to keep it myself fresh. I don't want to listen to other radio shows, man.
It's like... Exactly. It's like listening to the later Ramones albums,
Pleasant
I like
Dreams.
Brain Drain.
Mondo Bizarro is your favorite album, isn't it?
Acid Eaters is your favorite album. Your favorite album is Acid Eaters.
You love that cover of Substitute. Can someone please put your favorite... I introduced... if anyone wants to check this out... There's a Facebook group called Your Favorite Blank is Blank, and it really came from a joke that Dean Rispler, a good friend of ours,
good man, putting out the Fuck Flicks record and the Mess Around record, Kudzu record, and,
he's our
Naked Heroes record.
He's our benefactor, and
he's awesome.
Yeah, puts out great stuff, great ear for music.
Plays in Manitoba, right?
With Handsome Dick from
Dick
the
himself.
Dictators, and it's most of the Dictators actually. It's Handsome Dick Manitoba. It's Ross the Boss. It's JP. It's Daniel.
And I want to call him Mean Dean Rispler.
He should be Mean.
He should
Dean
be
Rispler.
Mean Dean Rispler.
Yeah. He should wear a Mexican wrestling mask at all times, because I think that the world would be a better place if people didn't know who Dean Rispler was, and he could just walk around and do random acts of kindness,
right?
And do things like pull kids.
He
would pull kids away from speeding cars. I think
he's very good for the rock scene around here, in my opinion. And when we first we're going to record with Dean, and he's going to produce the album. Like, I hear produce, and I want to throw up. I told him this, and I'm like, I'd rather record it live. But in the studio and everything, he was just the most helpful guy ever. He didn't. He wasn't a producer.
He did try to get us to add some harmonics to our songs, and he's like, bend the eighth note here, and it's like,
Well, this is the great thing. You could take all the suggestions and then be like, just cut all the percussion out of it later, And if the band gangs up on you, you got no recourse. Sorry, Dean, no percussion for you.
Well, I mean, we are speaking from a room that has a bongo drum in it. So.
It does, and the reason I have a bongo drum is because I know he was listening before.
Occupy Wall Street is the reason. John feels very strongly about...
I do. I've been down there, man. I'm not kidding. So anyway, this guy, Derek Vokins, total asshole, Yankee fan, rides a motorcycle like a dick. Needed the bongo.
Wait, does the motorcycle look like a dick?
No, it's like a dirt bike.
Okay.
And I don't even think he rides it. He's got kids now and stuff.
It's kind of like the equivalent of like the kids that would walk around in high school with skateboards, but they wouldn't actually ride them.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, this guy's a total jackass. No, I'm just kidding. He's a really good guy, and he had this musical project, and that is the reason the conga drum is there. I brought it down from the attic, and he's like, "Oh, does anybody have a conga drum?" I was like, "I have one." Because I remember when I was like 18, my parents bought me conga drums for Christmas, and there's a picture of me with like long hair behind these two conga drums with the Christmas tree and the whole. I'm in like my pajamas. It's terrible.
It'll be up on our Facebook page tomorrow.
I'll try to get that picture up there tomorrow, along with the picture of the contest prize rock and roll baseball card. Should
Which
we
one?
open up another one? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down with that. Let's see. I mean, because basically, I did look this up before I brought these in, and apparently, no one won the trip to London for the rock and roll experience. So there's still a pack out there somewhere, and I can only imagine that there isn't that many packs left. We might have a very real chance. I'm going to open another pack, but there is one left. So if anyone wants to call in and claim this pack, feel absolutely
You could
free.
be a winner.
Yeah, you might win a trip to somewhere. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got the. It always starts with the legend cards. Apparently,
Legends.
We've got Allman Brothers here. Which lineup of the Allman Brothers is this? Everyone's favorite. You know, everyone has an uncle who is in a band that plays Allman Brothers songs. Hi, Uncle Ken, if you're listening. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of great Adamski and Amski.
Never heard of
Never
him.
heard of that. That it's a white man with dreadlocks.
Always good. You know, there's
Yeah.
always a white guy with dreadlocks
Well, you know,
in
actually,
the front
that's-
row of every concert.
When
I
I was single, that was one of my best pickup lines. You know, and go up to a random
What?
go up to a random girl in New York City and say, "Hey, have you ever dated a white guy with dreadlocks?"
Right.
And they always have a story. There's always a story of either yes,
He's out there.
I did until he got caught selling drugs to a cop, or
Right.
you know, he pissed in my bed. And actually, I heard that twice, 2 separate times. Someone told me that they had dated or at least brought home
They're incontinent
a white guy
as
with
a,
dreadlocks
as a people.
who pissed the bed. Madonna. Here's a less.
I thought they'd be more like cock rocky. You know,
I thought so too. I mean,
these
I,
like pop stars.
I know, but well, here's Blues Traveler.
Oh, Blues Traveler.
This might have been before Runaround.
The insane
Yeah, I mean, this is
Blues Traveler.
definitely a fat John Popper. So this is pre-gun charges. Hot House Flowers. Do you remember Hot
Yeah,
House Flowers?
Of course, I celebrate their whole catalog.
They look like you know what I'd imagine the rest of the band Daughtry to look like.
Let me see these guys. Oh man, the guy on the right. We got to put that picture up too. The guy on the right is really mugging it up for the camera.
Oh wow, he looks like a Jonas brother. For the kids out there, kids listening.
Wait, finally, somebody's trying to. Go ahead.
LL Cool J.
Oh, I want that one.
You can have that one.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Mama said you can have that.
All right.
Yeah.
Putting that right up on the-
Scorpions, everyone's favorite German rock
Let's
band.
see what era Scorpion. So it's like 91, but who knows when the picture was taken?
Is that man balding? Is that why he's wearing that hat?
That's why he's wearing a baseball cap.
Okay. That's the,
and this guy's holding up a bass because he's the bass player.
Yes. Well, he needs to show that he's
Schenker doesn't have to. What is he holding?
a
Piece
mustache.
of wood.
He's holding a hell of a mustache. Let me tell
He's
you that.
holding up the lights.
I'm surprised his head can stay up with that mustache. Soul to Soul.
Yeah, that sounds very familiar.
Well, I mean that's part of the whole
I
trend
like-
of using two I's as a 2, the
I
Roman
like
numeral.
It distinguishes you from
Yeah. Bonham, starring
yeah!
starring Jason Bonham.
Bonham. I remember that. Wow, what a bunch of fucking quiffs.
And that is the experience that you can have with these cards.
Everyone in this band has their hands in their pockets. What the fuck?
They're playing pocket pool.
Sanctuary.
Ooh.
Instant win game. Is that
Ooh,
it?
Yeah, this is our chance to win.
You get also get a coupon for 10% off your next
No,
purchase of
10%,
Superstars.
it's 10 cents.
Oh, 10 cents. It really is 10 cents off your next purchase of Superstars music T-shirts, as seen in the Pro Set Gazette.
All right, I'm scratching this right
the
now.
Pro Set Gazette. Scratch it off, baby. We're going to London.
Fascinating.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on, I want to see who this phone caller is too. Go
Sorry,
ahead. You
try
keep
again.
talking.
Oh,
I'm
and
sure it won't be a problem for you.
There's another one. You saying I talk too much? I'm taking over the show. So let's see here. We got another instant win game here. This was my plan for next week, was to just buy a whole bunch of scratch-off tickets and let you be in suspense with me. Sorry, try again. I didn't win either of these.
I'm not screening these calls. I'm just going to put this guy in the air.
Well,
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Uh-oh. You're on the
I
air.
want to go to London. I want David to pick me a winner card.
Ooh, is that?
We're scratching it off right now. Who's calling, please?
Uncle Ken.
Oh, Uncle Ken, you should be practicing your scales.
How is the?
Hey.
Have you been playing recently? How's the band going?
Not that much. I've been playing a little bit. I play with Daria, the string maker.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my actual uncle. This is my Uncle
kidding
Ken.
me.
No.
Unbelievable. Is Uncle Ken a Pittsburgh Penguins fan by any chance?
No, Mets fan, watching the Mets.
Yeah. He's
It's not really your uncle, is it?
Yes, it is.
You're kidding.
No, I'm serious. It's my uncle.
He sounds a lot like my friend Owen.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's really Owen acting like Uncle Ken.
Holy crap!
How
I
you
don't
doing,
know
Uncle
what to
Ken?
believe.
Yeah, I know. You sound very close to my friend's voice. So what kind of music you guys play?
Playing the show. Want you guys to talk about the music scene, what's going on, because it sounds like you play. I know David plays a lot. It sounds like you play a lot, too. What's going on, like the clubs, some of your clubs are closing in Brooklyn. Is Williamsburg selling out to money coming in? What's going on with the whole scene over there? How about you guys talk about that?
The New York music
You
scene
mind?
is terrible. It's never been good, in my opinion, as a collective, like a community of bands where you'd find in other cities and even in Long Island in the as recently as 10 years ago, where you had a punk rock scene out there. There's no cohesive scene, and it's just kind of free for all, and there's no. It's not band friendly.
Is it because the city's just too big to have a small scene where people can be a community?
I mean, honestly, I think as far as the New York music scene goes, I mean, it's so fractioned at this point. Williamsburg has 15 different kinds of clubs that appeal to 15 different kinds of music, and to be completely honest, the style of music that John and I play is kind of outdated. There's no kids that are clamoring for rock and roll at this point. I mean,
if you had a punk rock band that was like these wild punk rock bands and stuff, the kids.
Get off my lawn.
Young people, they want to come out and see the spectacle. They want to come out and see something like that. They don't want to come watch me play, my Replacements ripoff songs.
But don't people want to also drink and just go have a fun time? With
I do.
You guys out.
Yeah, I mean, we do, but I mean, like, these kids would rather drink at, someone's loft or, someplace out in Bushwick or whatever, and they'll go out to shows and bring their own beers. So then, like if you do have those kids come out, they're gonna get booted anyway. I mean, I've noticed that. We do play a place called Don Pedro pretty frequently, and I see kids get kicked out of there all the time because they try and bring in their own beer or whatever. Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
But you lose that element. I played an all ages show not too long ago up in Connecticut, and it was an entirely different world. Kids were going nuts. They were dancing.
Yep.
And I mean, I think it does exist. I just think in New York, people think that when they come to New York, they have to all of a sudden become these jaded pricks and stand there with their arms crossed and nod their heads.
It's like a cool contest or something, And I grew up here, so I don't know. I'm kind of insulated from the Williamsburg thing. I'm over here in Queens, and there's no.
Well, when you go to other cities and play, do you feel there's a community there that you kind of get the taste of?
Absolutely. If you go to Chicago, if you go to Michigan, if you go to Denver, if you go to any of these places, the people are more appreciative of it's something that's out of the ordinary, and they appreciate the that people get together and do creative things together. Here it's just like it's in their mind that it's commonplace, and so everyone's just in this mixed bag of I don't know.
And what we run into too is being in a rock and roll band.
I'm an idiot.
Something that's you're in a band that is more old style rock and roll. If you're not, there are the revival acts out there. There's the guys that are doing the fashion side of it and wearing paisley shirts over their vests and trying to channel psychedelic time period and it's false. It rings. There's nothing dangerous about that. And I want the Iggy Pop. I want the that someone might bleed on me aspect. I want that, this guy might go off on in any second, and that doesn't really happen anymore. You don't have that. You have that in, I guess there's certain segments of indie rock that have that. You look at bands like Fucked Up, whatever.
Right.
But I mean, that's not rock and roll in the sense that you would call it. It's not.
Well, you can also
blues
argue
derived.
that that's kind of gimmicky or whatever. And if you just want to play music and be in a band and stand up there, and there's not a big market for people who want to come out and watch, a 35-year-old guy, 37, like me, with a gut and standing there and playing these indie rock songs. There's a small segment of people who will come out and listen to it, who really, really, really appreciate it and get it, and that's all I care about. You
How
know,
about guys with voices? People will go see them. You know, they're not exactly young kids.
that's true, but these bands were big, and there's the nostalgia aspect of it too.
That's
So-
kind of weird that like someone like Guided by Voices, where Bob Pollard was 35 when he started playing, and he's in his 50s now, and still can
It's a band
command
like
a stage.
Tar who's performing there. They were old when they started. I mean, they're probably 50.
And that, I mean that's
Well, is there a city that has a scene going on for, like New York had, let's say, the punk scene, and there was a scene out in Oregon, Portland, or whatever, Seattle, I should say, and there was a Detroit scene. There's all these different scenes during different time frames. Is there any scene in any city around the country right now that you see where there's something going on in one particular area where shit's happening?
The closest thing I can think of is Chicago. It really is like that there, with a lot of bands getting together, almost making, coming together like a collective of bands. But still, people don't go to the shows.
Yeah, I mean, there's a small scene in Memphis too that the Goner Records does. Like they'll have bands, but I mean, that's where even though they were from Detroit, like the White Stripes are kind of related to that scene, or the Jay Retard came out of Memphis, but that was never even the most popular thing there. It's almost like the British invasion of bands coming somewhere else and becoming popular and then trying to make it back in their own hometown, and that town kind of appreciates them later, but at the time it's not, and maybe that's rock and roll. Maybe that's something that people need to understand, is that, on a global stage, especially now with, the advent of social media, the advent of everyone's on Facebook and whatever, bands, who would normally play to 3 people in their small town can make it somewhere completely different before they actually are able to play a place that they'll draw 10 people in their own town. And, I know from touring back in the day, I mean, for those of you that don't remember the internet, life without the internet, rather, it was really hard to book a tour. You had to call a bunch of people, you had to call a bunch of places, you had to try and find out where the scene was.
You still have to do that.
Well, I mean, but you can do a lot more of it through the internet. You remember having to buy that book? There was that book that,
God.
Barnes and Noble or whatever sold.
The circle thing.
That was like the list of all the venues.
Complete waste of time.
Yeah, and you would call these places, or you would write to them. And
hey, it's Turk Wendell. Sorry, go ahead. He's in the audience.
And you would try and find these places that would be amenable to your music, and you'd end up playing a bunch of shows. There would be no one there, and it would be, venues that would put themselves on there just to, just to get your band to play there, and they would, get your beers, or, pay for, you'd pay to play there pretty much in every city you went to. So, I mean, I think the internet's made that better on a more global or national scale, but, in the long run, the scene's a scene.
It's a great time to be in a band as far as the internet goes.
If I was 10 years younger.
Your music is going to reach people
Side
that's
note,
never...
Mets home run tied the game.
No way, I'm watching it right now, you liar.
Oh, maybe I'm watching a different time frame. It's 2-2.
That's 2-2.
Oh, I'm looking at, they put this stupid inning number right in the middle of the score. I'm thinking it's 4-2. It's horrible. Oh.
Does the internet, because there's so many ways to see bands now, but you got to kind of stumble upon them, does that make it harder for guys like you trying to get out there and make it easier?
It makes it easier, I think, for me. But it's also it makes it harder because you're not going to make any money. You're not going to sell any records. But selling records is this whole conversation is a paradigm. The paradigm shift. You're not going to. The industry has changed. No one's going to sell records anymore. The music is free now, and that's fine.
It should be. Yeah.
And bands will go out on tour and make a couple bucks on tour, and you could sell records and shirts and whatever else on tour, and that's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. And people trying to fight that are just, the old guard. And you're going to have to accept it. Just like when any new media comes out.
Home taping is killing the record industry.
Yeah, double cassette decks.
Exactly. But
so anyway, listen, Uncle Ken, I love you. I got to go though.
Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling in. Call back anytime.
Let's go to a Mets game.
Good conversation. That was Uncle Ken, everybody. Oh.
Thank you for calling.
Works. Yeah. I really thought it sounded just like Owen, didn't it, Mike?
by a long shot.
Exactly like my friend Owen.
It took me like the third segment of you guys talking to realize this really is.
You know what?
Fucking Owen.
I'm not gonna. He's not my friend anymore.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna play a song and then we'll get out of here soon. It's a Bitter Tears cover. Dead air. Dead
Woke
air.
up at war, open one eye and the next. Fell upside down, all the blood runs through my head. Look in the mirror, there looking back at me. Hey, I'm tied up, I need black gloves and legitimacy. Hey, I got the shiver. I got the shiver. You know I'm weak. A commotion going on inside. All my nerves.
right, that's the Book Burners. That was a live recording from Quencher's Saloon. That's a brand new band called the Book Burners, and I like them just fine. Before that, we heard the Buzzards, band out of Detroit, and that was a song called The Shiver. And before that, prior to that, what the fuck did we listen to? Columbines of Chicago with a cover of a Bitter Tears song, Bus Bus, if you're listening. Want to know what that was? St. Matthew's Boxcar is the name of that song. So those are 3 songs that we played. And Uncle Ken threw us all off. He freaked us out.
In a good way. I haven't talked to him in a few years.
It's good to talk to you, man. It's been a long time, says Dave. And the LL Cool J card is freaking me out, too.
Why? I mean, he's got that good... He looks like he's taking a shit.
Oh, to go back to the prior conversation for a second, I'm told New Orleans has a big scene with lots of different styles. And according to this paper I have, it says people go wild for the acts. They go wild.
I mean, I've seen there's a singer from New Orleans called Guitar Lightning Lee that just played up here recently.
Yeah.
That is a Delta blues singer in the old style, and that was absolutely awesome. He played a bunch of shows around New York the past maybe 2 weeks or so. But yeah, I mean, most of what New Orleans that I know is old soul bands and things like that. I don't know if there's a whole rock and roll scene there.
I love that city. I was there pre-Katrina. It was awesome, but I bailed my friend out of jail. It was great.
Well, we're actually
he has one leg.
I have a picture for you.
We were in the casino. There's a Harrah's down there, and Harrah's Casino. And next thing you know, like, this guy's just missing. He's gone. We start calling the hospitals and stuff, and this and that. Call the jail. They're like, oh yeah, we got him. So I spent all my vacation money bailing my friend out of jail in New Orleans. It was awesome.
You should be able to put that on black.
I should.
Yeah.
And then he would like go to the ATM. All right, I'm going to pay you back the money that you used to bail me out, but can I keep $100? I'm like, fuck no. Give me all my money, you cock.
Are you a big gambler, or do you...
No, I play poker. It's not gambling.
No.
It's a game of skill. No, I really don't like gambling. I like to play poker.
I actually was just in Atlantic City recently, and big blackjack fan, and not very good at it. But
well, you can have any game that you can have an edge is fine by me.
Yeah, I mean, I won't
You
do
could
the
definitely have an
slots. I mean, I can't justify that. It just seems like a slow burn of your money.
Biggest money maker in the casino is slot machines. That's why they don't want to waste floor space on poker rooms and blackjack tables when they can fill it up with slots and old ladies just shoving hundreds in there.
And there are some hot ladies there. Lots of oxygen tanks and walkers and wheelchairs.
Right, and that's just the whoas.
Exactly.
Thank you.
They will reach for your ass when you're walking by to grab it, and that's my kind of experience.
I got propositioned by a hua.
Where was that?
In Atlantic City. She's hot too.
Yeah.
She's young.
It's
She's like 20. I felt bad for her.
Probably a dude.
Yeah. If you sit in the bar in Atlantic City at 2:00 in the morning, it's just like
You're asking for it.
The fish tank.
Free drinks, and
Yeah.
you feel really good about yourself because they pump oxygen into those casinos. So.
I don't know if that's true.
Really, it seems like
That's
you
might be an old wives' tale, but it could be true. But I'm not certain on that.
You get euphoric when you walk in, so I'm assuming that they have to do something. It's
I
like
don't
Disney
like
World.
the feeling of being in there. Like I feel like I have a headache the whole time I'm in a casino.
It's the oxygen.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
That I mean, what other place could you walk into that's filled with oxygen? So you're euphoric to begin with. You've got
space.
You've got people grabbing your butt. You've got free drinks coming to you. You've got a shitload of cash, at least to start, in your pocket. I mean, that's quite an experience. I mean, when do you experience something like that? Not every day. I mean, I don't walk onto the subway and get oxygen pumped in there and have people grabbing my ass. Although
it's like a adult carnival.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you find things to replace the things you loved as a kid, and casinos are one of them.
You're always playing catch up. You're trying to catch that that fun time you used to have. It's never going to happen. Nothing better than being a kid running around.
But you don't appreciate it.
Instead, you put it all on black, and you end up
not paying rent that month.
Sucking you know what I'm saying, in the parking lot. And by, you know what I'm saying, I mean penis, men's penises.
Oh, I know.
That's
multiple.
An episode of Ice Road Truckers
Peni.
that
I do watch Ice Road. I used to watch it, and no one fell through the ice, so I fucking stopped watching it.
Well, then they should at least save that for sweeps.
They should drive. They should have a show where they just drive on the water and die. I watch that.
if they, I mean,
if the ice is thick enough to hold the truck, it's like, all right, well, I'm out.
So
it's just a road.
So you don't like roller coasters, but you love water parks, and you want more dangerous reality shows.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm here to say today.
That there needs to be more danger in everything except for roller coasters.
Anything that I'm involved in should be less dangerous, and for everyone else should be more dangerous. But on that note, I don't like to watch people get hurt. Like, I can't watch those YouTube videos of a kid breaking his arm on a skateboard. So I can't watch it.
Well, I mean, did you skate as a kid? I mean, that was something that, like, I was always
Not
afraid of.
really. I was never good. I was goofy-footed.
I had friends that knocked teeth out and, would land on parking, what are those little parking concrete things, and yeah, I mean, that it's hard to watch, but I mean, at the same time, you get some kind of thrill out of it, and I think that's like the
yeah, sure, when you're doing it, it's fine. I can't watch people getting hurt. I can't watch Faces of Death or any of that crap.
Well, it's all fake anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I have never watched it.
Really? It's a classic.
I can't do it, man. I have empathy for my fellow
guy's
man.
name is something bullshit like Dr. P. Gross or something.
Yeah, I don't want to see people getting hurt. That's why I don't want to see those kids getting hit by cars.
So can you watch
all
like
tied
those,
in.
What about those torture porn movies like Saw
Snuff
or
films?
whatever, like
if I know it's fake, I'll muddle through. If I know it's not real, if it's a scripted movie.
So no snuff films.
Why, are you offering? You holding?
For the next caller,
No
apparently.
hablo inglés, man.
Oh, we have a caller. It's the FBI. Hold on. Yeah, no, I can't watch those, but I do watch the regular pornos, and they're very specific in their titles, and you can always tell when it's from a foreign land because it's like white girl with a broken foot gets this done to her by a black guy with an Indian headdress.
What site
on
are
Tuesday.
you on? Apparently, I'm missing the site. That
very specific genres.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to talk about how the amateurization of porn is killing the industry. I need some production value.
Are you losing money?
No, it's just saying that. I mean, as far as everyone watches porn, right? I mean, that's a given. I think anyone who says
not my mama.
Well, you never know. I mean, the internet makes it free for everyone. It's available. But
my mom doesn't know how to use the internet.
I don't need to watch something that looks like it was shot inside someone's asshole. I mean, that's a thing.
I don't want to see any of that stuff because it's like heart surgery, to me. There's nothing sexy about seeing the inside of someone. It's gross. There's a huge market for it, apparently, because I can't get away from it.
It's called Germany.
Me and Mike used to watch German pornos at his house when we were in high school, right?
Well, yeah,
scary
but
stuff.
It was kind of the most messed up shit I've
Oh,
ever
me
seen.
scheiße, me Klaven.
Klaven.
Shoe licking porno day over at Mike's.
Kind of nasty. Times were tough, man.
Cake fetish.
It wasn't.
We had nothing to do.
It wasn't our fault though. Our friend worked in a movie store, so he'd bring this shit out
That's
liberally.
right. Eat shit, Derek.
I can't do it.
You're not in anyway.
Exactly. That's why.
All right. You know what? What do you guys think?
Eat shit, Derek.
That's what I think.
Well, we'll take one more caller if anyone wants to call.
I wish someone would call. I got nothing here. All I see is Mario.
Well, that's
Joe McCann called. That was yesterday. The show was last week, bro. So I had a good time.
I had a good time.
We could probably wrap it up.
Yeah,
and call that a radio show and try to do better next week. Do we? Someone is calling in. Oh, wait a second. You can't be in the room and call in, Mario.
Yeah,
just
just
feedback.
He wants to do sound effects.
The microphone's right there. Just talking to it.
Hold on. You're losing me. Losing.
Here's Mario.
I brought some sound effects, and I got.
He's got
my
sound
wings,
effects
and
on a Sprint
I'm ready to go. Let's
razor.
close this show off. What do you want to hear?
You should
Piano?
see this. It's crazy.
Sax?
He's dressed like Gallagher 2, not Gallagher 1 because it's the lesser costumes. And there is a box full.
Ron Gallagher.
Is that Ron Gallagher?
Yeah, his brother Ron.
Brian Gallagher? Is that
Brian Gallagher's only allowed to smash grapes legally. We saw fake Gallagher at the Archers of Love show last night. He looked exactly like Gallagher, but like he was kind of retarded. And he had the same green hat. It was scary, man. It was scary.
That is beautiful.
Hello, go ahead. You're on the air.
On?
Yeah.
Guys gave up on the baseball now that the Yankees are winning. And just as I say that, they tie the game.
Eat shit, Derek.
Oh, man.
Derek Volkins.
So
what? The Yankees game's tied up? Well, I got to go back to it. I'm watching the Mets game right now.
Oh.
Hold on.
What's going on here?
Wake up, caller. Yeah, Eric Chavez at the plate. 6'6".
What?
Oh, 214.
They beat the crap out of
How do they have
Verlander,
6
man.
runs? Yeah, Verlander got beat up.
Yeah, they smashed the shit out of him.
And what
A-Rod.
about...
How do you like that?
How do you like that? What about Nova? He
Deep
looks
right.
like he has 6 runs on him,
Deep
too,
right.
right now. Yeah. This guy needs 20 pitches. Goose, that's in there for a strike.
It was a hot game.
Yeah, we
Very,
should have
very
watched it. We should
exciting.
have. I wanted to do your idea of just calling the Yankees game because, I hate the Yankees.
We could broadcast live from the Staten Island ferry.
We could. I love this guy this Arab guy who's in the front row though. They keep showing him.
The Sikh in the front row.
There's a guy with a complete Sikh headdress in the front row. You don't
And
see
he's
that
got
every
all
day.
his kids there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see
I was
that.
thinking about how that guy might get some grief, and I was like, that's sort of unfortunate.
Well, because it's a it's a misunderstanding of how religion works. I mean, that's an entirely different religion.
Yeah, no, you always, I generally get, like, it's sort of like you get bummed out. That guy's some jackass is going to give him some line, and then he's got to explain his whole shit. You don't want to do that.
No, you're there with your family. He should get up and punch the guy behind him right in the face.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck you want? I'm at the ball game, right?
Right.
Like, Jesus Christ, you giving me grief?
How much do those seats cost right there in the front row, Derek?
Oh, dude, what, $2,500?
Regular season game, $2,500.
Yeah, maybe
for one
they should
person.
give him shit because he's loaded.
Right. Are you saying he made all his money in oil? That's fucking racist.
I mean, that seems pretty outrageous. But yeah, no, I was shocked. I was shocked at the outcome of this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought that it would be I thought this was a put it right in the loss column and look at tomorrow.
I thought it was going to be a slaughter. I thought you'd be sitting here for the entire hour talking about like really shitty at-bats.
I was very excited to see your team lose today. I don't know what the hell happened. They've got that spunk.
What I have to do, I have to say that I'm seeing a Delta commercial right now, which means that the Yankees actually have legitimate, real advertisers. Where if you watch SNY, you'll watch like the worst of local commercials ever. Like
Keith Hernandez trying to sell you gold.
They cannot land a decent advertiser to save their lives. I mean, there's like a whole bunch of there's Cash for Gold. There's
Keith Hernandez is like shilling for a gold store in Oyster Bay. Like buy it now and bury it in your backyard.
Every ad that you see on the subway.
Come to Ace Pawn on Northern Boulevard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is Mackie Sasser for Junkyard LLC on Willits Point Boulevard.
You have scrap metal? We need it.
The hydroponic store on the side of the LIE.
Oh wait, but as you say this, here comes the douchiest.
What's
I know
John
that
Deere?
store.
I mean, that's
Hey man, that store's legit. It's for growing plants, regular tomatoes and stuff. But as you say that, like the douchiest commercial for tequila ever with the guy from The Sopranos just came on.
What tequila is that?
I don't know. 1800 tequila. What are you, not a man if you don't drink this? You know that dude.
That's a good. I mean, that's a good.
He's a horrible actor. He's only good in The Sopranos. Everything else, he's
But I have
sucks.
to say, working in advertising and marketing, like one of the most effective ways to get people one of the most effective ways to get people to buy something is to insult their masculinity. When you're going for a male audience,
they're doing that on SNY too.
it's
Like raise your testosterone by watching SNY.
Yeah, what do you got? No balls? What are you gonna?
Right.
You gonna watch fucking the Voice?
Drink this, you big pussy.
Hey, what's up with Dill Strawberry's restaurant?
Did it close yet?
I hope. What do you mean yet? That's not right.
I'm saying
what kind of attitude is that?
I just assume that he's walking around shaking hands like in the Rocky Balboa movie when he owns the restaurant and he's like going around like shaking everyone's hand going, thank you for coming.
No, he's got his brother doing it, like Eric Davis or something. I was there once. I had a beer before I went on the train, and I did not see Darryl Strawberry, but I did see Darryl Strawberry getting off the train in Penn
One of
Station.
the best.
He's very gracious.
That is incredible.
Nice
incredible
guy.
picture.
Yeah.
I do have to say one of the best athlete-owned establishments that I've ever frequented is
I'd say Mickey Mantle's.
Cribette's. Which was Wayne Cribette's.
Really?
Wayne Cribette's bar.
Where is that? In like Cataract?
It's across the street from Hofstra University. And,
of course.
It was.
Hey, walk on in. Get it? Walk on in.
Yeah, the tryout
my
special.
God.
And, yeah. And
That's even better.
yeah, it was absolutely the place for any kind of Hofstra shenanigans you wanted to get into. But I'm pretty sure they're closed now. But that was
You
one
think?
of the places that I mean, there's a variety of gas stations on Long Island that are also owned by former athletes as well. Car dealerships and gas stations seem to be the
yeah, car washes too.
Really?
There's apparently big money in that.
to know.
Yeah.
You can't beat our prices.
Oh. My wife used to work at a bank, and his wife used to come in. Like this is not funny. Like with sunglasses on, like cover up the bruises and stuff. It was really bad. As she's cashing his check.
I do actually remember one of the other stories from living.
Can this guy fucking spell his name Johnny correctly? Johonny? What the fuck is that? All right, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say
Peralta?
Yeah.
That's weird, huh?
That is weird. You know, my son has a friend who spells his name like that too. I don't like that kid either.
Is that Rivera? He's still alive?
There he is, Red Skull.
Is he the last guy that's grandfathered in to wear the Jackie Robinson's number?
What do you mean?
Yes.
You're not allowed to wear Jackie Robinson's number
right,
anymore.
right.
And Rivera, I think, is the last player. It's kind of like when hockey players could grandfather in to not wear helmets.
Yeah. Craig McTavish.
But, yeah,
Right.
Speaking of hockey, I mean, growing up on Long Island, Darius Kasparaitis was always a local figure in
The big ass they used to call him.
He got arrested for speeding. I think he was doing 160 down the Sunken Meadow Parkway.
Yeah, it's not that fast.
It's nothing.
You got to give him that. I mean, it's one of those things where, if you're an Islanders fan, you could see those guys anywhere. I'd see Mike Bossy walk into 7-Eleven, order a Slurpee, and it was really being that close to your idols.
Right. If your idols were the Islanders.
If you want,
and now, yeah, you can definitely see Islanders now, working at a car wash or or behind the counter at the 7-Eleven, for that matter.
DiPietro's got to make
boss.
a living.
God, he's so bossy. Really? No, he's really Mike Bossy. It's actually him. So yeah, the Yankees are. What's going on here? We're gonna wrap this up.
They brought in the closer. They're gonna try to.
Unbelievable.
They're gonna try to keep it in.
I like it,
I don't know,
Girardi.
yeah.
I'm gonna switch to the Mets game here because the Mets have just broken the game wide open, and it's 6-2 now.
Oh.
Yes, we were watching the Yankees. I think we're gonna wrap this radio show up. You guys have anything to say?
Nope.
Caller.
I'm hanging up.
All right. Later.
Adios.
Thanks for calling, Derek.
Always a pleasure.
See it. No? Nobody? No final thoughts?
I gave Sarah Jessica Parker a light last night.
You're gonna have to speak it to a microphone if you want to be heard, sir.
I said I gave Sarah Jessica Parker a light last night.
That's Mario.
I did.
Okay.
I end with that.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat Walsh, for the computer and Jim for the website. And we'll see you next Friday, I think, at the same time. Here's, whoops, I hit the wrong song.
Here's
Oh, this is all going to hell. All right. We're out of here. You're Spoke by Shellac.